Okay, I apologize. This video might be on the longer side, but let's go ahead and get started. All right. This video is dealing with chapter 10.2, which is a z-test. And the main thing you have to know about z-test is you have to have a population standard deviation given for you to do this. So I'm going to talk to you about what I'm going to see in the problem it's going to be important for later on. All right. A manufacturer of chocolate chips would like to know whether the bag filling machine is working correctly at the 437 gram setting. All right, so I'm going to highlight that. It's believed that the machine is overfilling the bags. All right, that's another clue there. A 31 bag sample. Okay, so that's my sample with a mean of 444 grams. Okay. Assume the standard deviation, the population standard deviation is 26, and is there sufficient evidence at the 0.05 level? All right, I have highlighted all the information that is important to me. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I know this is a mean, so I'm going to get my mean symbol and put it here. Okay, what we're testing is if it's overfilling the bags. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in my alternative. So it's going to be the mean is greater than, and I have to use my population mean. I'm not going to use 444 grams because that's the sample one. I'm going to use 437 grams because that's the population. So if it's greater than for my alternative, then my null is less than and equal. And again, I have to use that population mean again. So there's my hypotheses. For the null, mean is less than or equal to 437. For the alternative, the mean is greater than 437. So find the z statistic. Okay, so I'm going to bring up my calculator, and this is where this comes in handy. All right, I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to go to stats. I'm going to go over to test, and I'm going to hit enter because I want a t-test. I'm not putting in data, so I'm going to hit stats and hit enter. My population mean is 437. Oops. And that's the one that I used in my hypothesis, so that's what's important. My population standard deviation is 26, and I get that from the problem. My sample mean is 444, and my sample size is 31. Okay. For here, I need to put what is my alternative hypotheses. So if I go over to the end, it's the greater than symbol. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to scroll down and hit calculate, and that's what I get. So my z-test statistic, and I need 2 decimal places, is z equals 1.50. Okay? All right. Is this a 1 or 2-tailed test? You go look at your alternative right here, and because it has a greater than symbol right here, that greater than symbol, that means it's a 1-tailed test, okay? So it's a 1-tailed test because this is directional. It's showing what it is. If this had the not equal sign, that would be a 2-tailed. Okay, it says find the p-value. All I do is go back and look. My p-value is right here. It's 0.0669, which rounds to be 0.0670. Okay, so 670. That's my p-value. Okay, my level of significance, it already said in the problem that that was 0.5. All right. Determine your conclusions. All right, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you up here. Okay, if P is, let me show you, less than your alpha, comma, you reject your null. And I say, if people eat fish from the River Nile, that's how I remember it. So my P was 0.067. Is that less than or equal to 0.05? And no, it is not, because the p-value is greater than the level of significance. So I fail to reject the null. Okay? And that's what it's asking for in this step right here, is I fail to reject the null. Okay? That's all you got to do. I failed to reject the null. All right, so let's keep going, and I'm going to highlight this because that was my thing to do. See if it'll let me highlight it. Yep, that's what I want to do. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's do another one. A manufacturer of chocolate chips would like to know whether the bag machine filling is working correctly at 430 grams. It's believed that the machine is underfilling the bags. A 37-bag sample has a mean of 421 grams. Assume the population standard deviation is 29. Is there sufficient evidence at the 0.5 level that the bags are underfilling? Okay. Again, I know this is a mean, so I'm going to go in here and insert my symbol, mean, and then I'm going to go here and insert my symbol, mean. All right. So if it's underfilling, that means it's less than what it should be, so it's going to be less than the population mean of 430. I got this from my sentence because here's 430, and that's my population mean. And here is underfilling, which means it's less than. So if my alternative is less than, then my null is greater than or equal to 430. Okay? Find the value of the z statistic. All right, so let's go back to our calculator and let's fill in what we need. Let me scroll up so we can look at our stuff. All right, so I'm going to go back and do stat over to test and hit enter. Okay, so again, I'm doing statistics. Now I've changed. My population mean is 430. Oops. My population standard deviation is 29. Oops. Let me scroll down. My sample mean, and it tells me right here, mean of 421 grams, so that's 421. My sample size is 37. And now it's underfilling, so I scroll down, but then I go to the one in the middle and hit enter, so it blinks to tell me it's been taken. I hit calculate, and boom. All right, so what is my z? My z is negative 1.89. Okay, so my z equals negative 1.89. Okay, it asked me again, is this a one-tailed or two-tailed test? This is one-tailed again because this less than sign right there, because it's only one direction, that makes it a one-tailed test. Okay, what's my p-value? Again, I grab that from the calculator and I get p is 0.0295. So I'm going to put that in there. So it's 0.0295. All right, so it says determine the level of significance, which is 0.05. All right. Determine your conclusion. All right, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to do p is less than, if p is less than or equal to alpha, comma, reject your null. Again, people eat fish from the River Nile. If you'll remember that, it's an easy way to remember it. So, is 0.0295 less than or equal to 0.05? Yes, it's correct. So reject the null. Okay, so I'm going to reject my null. And that's my answer. I'm going to reject my null right here. Okay. All right. So let's try to quickly get through this one. All right, here's another scenario that they're looking at the chocolate chips. And this one, it says the machine is underfilling or overfilling. All right, so this is a little bit different. The only difference in this one is your mean here is going to be the mean is not equal to 402. Why is it not equal? Because it doesn't care if it's over or underfilling. It just wants to know if it's doing it differently. Okay, it's not being directional. That's why you have to use not equal. So if here, this is going to be, mean equals 402. All right, so keep trying these on your own, and I will answer any questions you have. Thanks.